Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday to all of my beady friends. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. We're only 2 days in, but hopefully they're going pretty well, right? That's the hope. That's the goal. Hey, we made it through Monday. You can't really ask for a whole lot more than that. Mondays are hard, y'all. How we doing out there? I want to say hello to both Michelles. There are two Michelles here. We have lots of Michelles, honestly. But two of our Michelles are making it for their first lives because life is busy. So we're so glad that you made it to a live. That's very exciting. We're glad that you're here. So exciting. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Miss Mary. Laurie is here. Hi, Miss Gina. Hi, Jan. Deborah. Everybody is here. I love it. I love it. Scrolling back through just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Hi, Miss Jackie. Sharita's here. All right, you guys. Hi, Danette. All right, listen, you guys, it's Bargain Bead Box time, and I'm super excited about it for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I think it's beautiful. Number two, because it kind of marks the unofficial start of fall because it is very fall feeling. Number three, because this is just the first of a couple of orders that I have made to Bargain Bead Box. Well, Bead Box bargains. This one showed up first. The little bundle that they put out right after that, it doesn't go with it. This was just a different little bundle of beads. I grabbed that one. And then the companion bundle for this one is going to drop hopefully at the end of the week. I'll be grabbing that one too. So we're going to be doing all kinds of Bargain Bead Box, or Bead Box bargains, or both, or whichever, however. But I'm pretty excited about it because they are consistently phenomenal, consistently top notch. And I'm just really excited to, number one, go through today's box with you guys, and then to continue this into next week, because that's what the goal is. So we may even continue it through the rest of the month just because we can. And it's a lot of beady goodness, and who doesn't want to work with it? So even if you don't get the Bargain Bead Box, you'll still be inspired to use some beads. Maybe you have something similar in your stash. So that's the plan. Let's see. How shall we start this out? We're going to start this out with housekeeping as usual, which is never any fun, but still necessary. So if you would like to be a member of Patreon, I would encourage you to come and do that right now. Patreon is open for enrollment to literally anyone, anywhere in the entire universe. It doesn't matter what social media you use. You can be a Patreon subscriber. And that Patreon subscription will get you an additional 3 projects a month from me. So on top of the ones that you already see, you will get 3 more that are exclusive to Patreon members only. You cannot access those unless you are part of Patreon. Now, I used to have it set up so that on Patreon, you could be a free Patreon member and then you could see teaser pictures of the projects. I don't do that anymore. So if you want to see the teaser picture and you want to see the project, you have to be a full-fledged paying member over there. But our Patreon community is huge and continues to grow, and I would absolutely love for you to be a part of that. Again, those projects are exclusive to Patreon members only, so you're not going to see those anywhere else. You may see the picture of the design, but you're not going to see the instructions or how it was put together, or all the chit chat and the things that we talk about when I put those projects together. Now, those projects in particular are pretty easy projects. They're usually some variety of stringing project. I don't do anything hard for Patreon. But that's because that's not what the goal is with Patreon. The Patreon project's goal is to encourage you to use things that you already have in your own stash. So instead of asking you to go out and buy beads somewhere, or to go and, make some sort of purchase, or whatever the case may be, I encourage you to use things that you already own that maybe you haven't used for whatever reason, and I encourage you to use those to make beautiful pieces of jewelry that you will love. I know that not everybody has the same beads that I have in my stash. That's not the goal. The goal is to inspire. And so those projects are, we focus on our basic skills, and they're usually just something beautiful that inspires me, that hopefully will inspire you. We do a little learning along the way, but it's nothing super hard. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, I would love for you to come and be a part of that. Patreon is not live. It does have a live option. I've not used the live option yet. So far, all of the Patreon projects are pre-recorded. And once you become a Patreon member, you have access to the past projects as well. So you can go back through the library and take a look at all of the past projects. But I would love for you guys to come and be a part of it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy putting those projects together because it gives me an opportunity to use things that I love and have in my own stash that I have not touched. So that's hopefully what I'm inspiring you guys to do as well. All right, so we're going to get right into Bargain Bead Box. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Bargain Bead Box, it is a monthly subscription service. It is my very favorite monthly subscription service in the bead world. This one is so good. It is so good. And there are so many reasons why it is so good, but I'm going to give you the top 2 or 3 reasons being, number one, the quality versus the price. So good. So good, guys. This is less than $25 a month, which price point wise is one of the more affordable monthly bead subscription boxes anywhere. And I don't want people to think that just because of its low price point, that means that it is not good quality, because that is 100% not true. Their quality is phenomenal. And a lot of times what you pay for, you get way more than that. So for instance, the estimated retail value of this month was $94.78. But your monthly subscription gets you that almost $100 worth of beads and findings and goodies for less than $25. So when you look at it like that, the value is absolutely phenomenal. I'm not saying there are not other good bead boxes out there. There are, but they're really expensive. And I just have not been able to continue to pay for those or justify those at the price points. Now, if you guys can, that's fantastic. But this one is one that I use time and time again, and I'm never disappointed with anything that comes in it. I'm always excited by it, and I'm always inspired. And I think that that's really kind of checking the main boxes there. So if you have not had an opportunity to subscribe to it, I definitely recommend checking it out. Go through the box with us today. We're going to go through it. We're going to look at all the bead goodness that's part of it. And then we're going to do a quick little bracelet to use some of the beads just for a little inspiration if you need it. But they have their own community, and they have their own YouTube channel. They have their own Facebook group, and all of those places are a wonderful place to find inspiration. So if you get a bargain bead box that month, you're not particularly inspired by it, or you're struggling with the color palette, or whatever the situation may be, go to their community, go to their Facebook group, go check out their YouTube channel and get inspired, because there are some incredible people out there creating incredible designs that are always inspiring. So if you've not tried them out, I really, really recommend giving them a try. I've tried all the bead boxes, you guys, and this is one that I will not give this one up. I just won't do it. Their customer service is top notch. Lauren, the head of all the things, is a phenomenal individual and a great designer. So I cannot sing their praises enough. If you guys would like to use my coupon codes, I have a couple of those, as well as an affiliate link that you are more than welcome to use. You don't have to, but if you do, I do get a small kickback from or a small incentive, I should say. I shouldn't say kickback. That's kind of a yucky word. Makes it sound sketchy. I get a small incentive off of any of the purchases that are created while using my affiliate link. So I appreciate all of those. It helps us to the incentive that I get back from it is great, but the most important part for me is that Bargain Bead Box and Bead Box Bargains knows that this community supports them. So anytime somebody uses that affiliate link, I'm not worried about the money part of it. I just want them to know that, like, we come and we show up and we support. So that's what that affiliate link means to me when you guys use it. All right, so if you're unfamiliar with the rest of the story here, let me give you the quick rundown of that. So monthly, you're going to get the monthly subscription box. It's always curated, has a theme. It's beautiful. Then you can reorder things from that box on the sister site, Bead Box Bargains. You can reorder strands. You can reorder the entire box when it drops. You can also get companion bundles, and then they have value bundles that they put out. You can order individual strands that are not related to that month, and you get a 30% off coupon that you can use over and over again throughout the month, which is phenomenal, particularly for those of us who order a lot. I order in bulk, and having that 30% off coupon code makes my life so much easier. So that is the quick down and dirty of all things Bead Box Bargains. Now we are going to get right into it. This month is called Sweater Weather. This is the Sweater Weather. It's hard to say. Sweater Weather collection. And I think it's beautiful. It's browns and neutrals and reds, and it's just warm and toasty, and it is getting me in the fall mood. So I'm going to turn you around. We're going to go through it, and then we will create a little something, something. You want to? I'm very inspired by this one. I really, really am. I've seen a couple of people say it's very brown. I love brown though. Like, I'm all for it. Let's more brown, please. I love it. There's browns and blues and grays, and reds. And the metal for this one is antique brass, which I think is phenomenal. So we're going to go through this really quickly, and then we're going to put together a little something, something. I'm going to start out with my very favorite bead in the entire box this month. And I bet you guys know which one it is, because you guys know I do love sparkle. So I've used some of these, obviously. And we'll be using them in our project coming up. But oh my goodness, this is my favorite bead. This is so beautiful. This is a fancy cube bead. So it's a beautiful faceted cube in light steel blue. It was a 7-inch strand. And like I said, I've used some of it. So yeah. Oh, so pretty. I want these fancy faceted cube beads in all the colors. All the colors. I hope that they have more colors, but I definitely will be reordering this strand as soon as it is available on the website. Some other really cool, the shapes in this one were what was really inspiring to me. I was very excited by all of the cool things. These are glass flower beads in navy blue. They're big, they're center drilled, and they're fabulous. Oh, I love these so, so much. They are awesome. And again, we'll be reordering these just like the others. These were so inspiring to me. I love front drilled flower beads. I love flower beads of any variety. These are so cool. I don't have anything like this in my own stash. There are, how many of these did I say? 6. As you can see, one of them has been set to the side to use in our project. But I love those so much. They just add the coolest amount of texture and fun. And then, me too, Laurie. As a matter of fact, that's what I do with them. I also love these because you guys know I love flowers. Bellflowers is one of my favorite shapes. This is not really a bellflower, but it's giving the same kind of feeling. So these are 10.5mm glass flower beads in navy blue. And there were more than these, but I, again, am using some of them. There were 10 of these. So you can see I've used a few of them in our project. I think they're super fun because they're a little square, you know, they're very squared off. They're not rounded like a regular bellflower, but I think that is really interesting visually. So I was excited by those. Is this not giving like fall morning feelings to you? Like, it is for me. It's making me think chilly fall mornings. Here's some more of that beautiful color. So these crystal faceted rondelle beads in matte steel blue, an 8-inch strand. Again, this color, it's so good. It's so good. It's like where I live, I've told you guys where I live, like if you step outside and you stand in my driveway and you look down the property line and then across the main road, you can see a mountain. We live in the mountains, but we're also surrounded by the taller parts of the mountains. And in the mornings and in the evenings, this time of year, the fog gets really, really thick. This is the color that I see in the mornings. This like blue, foggy, just it hangs on the trees, it hangs on the mountains. It's just beautiful. All right, let's change up the color a little bit. All right, so this is an 8x6mm glass barrel spacer in dark coral red, a 7-inch strand. I love this pop of red, and it's not just any red, right? This is like a deep, moody, kind of maroony red, which I think pairs really nicely with that steel colored blue. To kind of tie all of this together, we have some beautiful mahogany obsidian, wavy, flat, round focal beads. There are 2 of these. These are really, really nice. I love that you get 2 of these too. So they're really cool. So you could use these in 2 different designs as focals. It's really pretty. All right, some more of that gorgeous mahogany obsidian. You get 4mm round 15-inch strand. Super pretty. All right, some more of that gorgeous blue. Danette, if one of yours is broken, if you will reach out to their customer service, they will send you a new one, I guarantee. 10-piece, 10mm glass pattern matte round beads in slate iris. Again, another really beautiful bead. I love those. I love those. They have had these patterned beads previously with different colors. So some of them were like that kind of peacock iris with the purples and the greens. I love the blue though. And the little pattern on them, it's just like a sweater, right? It's just like a sweater. I like it a lot. Really beautiful. All right, little bicone for you if you need a little bicone in your life. I probably should not have dumped these completely out, but 4mm because I will lose them on the mat. 4mm crystal faceted bicone beads in opaque gray. It was a 12-inch strand. I've used some of them. I'm actually going to put these back in here or not. I'm going to make a big mess. That's what I'm going to do. Hold on. Okay. All right. All right. So Beadbox Bargains, the sister site, is a great place to get 99-cent bicone strands. I love bicones. They make great spacers. You can do so many fun things with a good bicone. So I know there are some designers out there that don't like bicones, but listen, they're wrong. That's all. The end. I mean, you can have an opinion. I'm just teasing, but they are wrong. Bicones are phenomenal. All right. A little brown to add to this. So you guys are saying there's a lot of brown here. There's actually not. There's only a little bit of brown. And I think the reason that you feel that way is because of the antique brass metal components that really kind of makes this all feel very brown. But as far as the beads are concerned, there's not a lot of brown beads going on here. So this is a 6mm brown agate round bead. I love these. I just love any agate, but these are really fun. So there's our little pop of tans there. All right, this is a cool bead. So these are petrified wood. 8mm petrified wood matte round beads. It was a 15-inch strand. As you can see, I pulled some of them out to use them. My strand had a lot of gray and kind of pinky red colors. I pulled out a lot of the pinky red ones that I'm going to use in our little bracelet project. But I think these are just yummy. I really, really like these a lot. And I love that they're petrified wood. I think that that's really fun. All right, so there are those. All right, here's another brown for you. I think this box is more blue than anything, but I do see where everybody is getting the brown vibes from. All right, so this is a bronzite matte round bead. There are 12 of them. They are 10 millimeter. These definitely look like wood. They're really cool. Bronzite's a fun bead to work with. These are kind of interesting though. I've never had bronzite that looks like this before. Are these matte? I lost the little, oh yeah, they are. That's why I've never had anything like this, is because they're matte. I've never had matte bronzite before. Bronzite's usually pretty shiny and shimmery and has little gold flecks in it, but when it's matte, it definitely looks more wood-ish. All right. So, how we doing? Y'all hear the squeaky toy in the background? I'm sorry. All right, I do love this. I think this is really cool. So this is a little glass bead mix in Autumn Hearth, 20 grams. I love the color palette here. There are a lot of really fun shapes, different colors, different textures here. I thought that was a really nice addition. I like that a lot. I am using some of those beads in our project. And then we have these guys, and then we're going to start moving into the metal elements here. It just screams fall, brisk fall morning, putting on a little extra something, that sweater, that sweatshirt. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's warm enough to take it off. So, you know, hopefully you're dressing in layers and you're not walking around naked, but hey, whatever you got to do, I guess. But I'm loving this palette. I think it's really cool. And these are some really interesting additions that I thought were definitely different. All right, so these are 2 pattern wood pendants with brass chain accents. So they are made out of wood, and they do have that really cool pattern to them that's very sweatery, right? I think these are really cool. So you can make some fun little earrings with these, or you could create a big pendant out of them if you wanted to. They are printed on both sides, which I really like. I thought that was a very cool addition. It's definitely different, but that's what makes bargain bead box so cool, is you never really know what it is that you're going to get, and it always works together so beautifully. This, so far, we haven't even touched on the metal elements yet. It's gorgeous. It's really stunning. They hit the theme. It's really lovely. Now, I would pay $25 just for this part, right? But there are metal elements included as well every month. That's what makes this such an outstanding value, because the price point, you can't get that price point with any other bead box. You just can't. So speaking of the metals, let's take a look. So one of the things that they almost always include is chain, and I love that. So there's 1 meter, a 4x3 Figaro chain in antique brass. I think antique brass was the perfect metal choice to go with this box. Love that. All right. Couple of toggles here. There are 2 ornate patterned round toggle clasps, which are beautiful. They have that same pattern that kind of mirrors the pattern on the beads and the wooden elements. So you're kind of getting that same feeling, which I love. And Beadbox Bargains is a great place to reorder things like this: clasps, bead caps, spacer beads. I'm going to show you all those things, other components. It's a great place to order those things. So if you like stocking up on these things, you want to reorder these, check out the other clasps that they have. Use that 30% off coupon to your advantage. All right. So speaking of spacer beads and bead caps, always a crowd pleaser is a daisy spacer. So there are 50 6x5 millimeter daisy spacers in antique brass. You can't go wrong with a daisy spacer. You just can't. I mean, they're awesome. I can use them in so many different ways. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Bead caps. Yes, you 100% could use copper with this box as well. I think copper would be beautiful with it. I think hematite colored metal would be really pretty with it too, because that would make it even darker and more moody. But yeah, copper, antique copper, the antique brass, regular brass, gold, even silver. Like this is one of those that I think literally any metal would look good. I love that they included the antique brass because I don't feel like it gets used nearly enough. But honestly, this color palette would work with anything. Bead caps, love these. Always order bead caps from them. This is 10 grams of dotted 8-point bead caps in antique bronze. I love those. Put those up here at the top. Bad part about this is that when we get to the end of all this and I turn the camera off and I have a million other things to do, I have to clean all this up first. Can't do anything else until I clean this up. Okay, couple more metal elements for you. All right, these are super cool. Floral chandelier findings. There are 6 of these, so you could create either 6 pairs of earrings if you wanted to, or you could use these, one over here and one over here, and do 3 strands draped between them for a multi-strand design that comes up to a single strand design. Like there's so many possibilities. Really, really fun. And they're so pretty. All right. Moving on. I like these. I've ordered these before from them in silver. And that's another thing too, is a lot of times with their metals, they'll have one thing in multiple metals. So if you're more of a silver person, but you do love this style, a lot of times they'll offer them in different metal colors. 10-piece, 24 by 18 millimeter floral medallion links in antique bronze. These are super cool. They have that really nice filigree. That means you can hang all kinds of dangle-doos from them, and you can connect them. So you can use them this direction and use them as a connector centered like that, or you can use them up and down, add dangles from them for pendants and for earring designs. So fun. Love those. All right. And then 2 more things left to show you guys. These are super cool. So 10-piece 3 millimeter filigree flower components in antique bronze. These are giving vintage feelings to me. And if you are a lover of the vintage things and all of the cool things that they do with brass, you definitely can take all of those skills that you've learned from vintage designers and use these for that. You can bend these, you can fold them, you can paint them, you can add a ton of dangles from them. You can layer these up to create all kinds of fun pieces. Like they're so cool. And the fact that you get 10 of them is really neat because it never fails. I always mess one up. So the fact that I have more, that is really exciting to me. They make really cool connectors. They make great focals. I do love that you can paint them. Now, if you love those, there are some bigger ones. So the bigger ones, there's 4 of the larger ones, 48 millimeter, same thing, right? It's the same one, just larger. And again, fold them, bend them, paint them, stack them, layer them up, hang dangles from them, like get creative. They are so cool. And I have a feeling you're going to be able to reorder these by the end of the week when they drop the companion that goes with this box. So if you love these and you want some more of them, I'm guessing they're probably going to have some more that you can order. But look how beautiful. You guys, it's so, so pretty. I understand why everybody is saying brown, and that is because of the antique brass. But if you take the metal away, it's really more of a blue box, a blue-red box. But if the antique brass is not your thing, swap it out. Swap it out for some silver. Swap it out for some copper. Like this could be anything that you wanted it to be, for sure. And that's the cool thing about this, is that there's no rules. Nobody said you have to use all these beads together. Nobody said that you have to use the metal that's in here. You could swap it out. Save all the metal pieces for something else. Use all of your silver that you have in your own stash if you want to. Add beads from your own stash. Mix this with another bargain bead box if you want to. Wait for the companion bundle to drop at the end of the week. Grab it. See what fun things are in it. Mix all of it together. Oh, it's so much fun, and there are so many possibilities. And what I have found with this is that we in the past have only done one show a month where we have focused on bargain bead box. And I think we decided right about the time that the ice cream shop theme dropped that Bargain Bead Box actually deserves a little bit more love from us than that. So we are continuing to add more days into the month where we use these. So today we'll do a quick little bracelet project, but we're going to revisit this next week because by next week I'll have some more items to go with this or in addition to or whatever it may be. But I think we're going to finish the month using this. Hardwired will be using it some more. I definitely want to revisit this again with you guys. So we're going to put something together today, quick and easy, but I feel like we need to continue to give the monthly box some love because what happens is I make one design, but then I still have a ton of beads left over. And you don't really realize how much of something there is until you start creating with it. And then you're like, whoa, I could create 3 collections out of all of the beads that are left. So let's put together a little bracelet. And again, I'm not doing anything hard today. I don't really do much hard stuff here on our Tuesdays anyway, but we're going to put together a little bracelet and I'm going to use one of these guys as a button because you guys know I can't resist. I have to use it as a button. It needs to be a button, but then I also like it as an earring. So if we have time, I'll do both, but we're going to start out with a little bracelet. So let me move some of this out of the way and try to do it in a way that it's not going to cause myself an extreme amount of aggravation later when I clean all this up. Nope. With all of the bead caps out, it's like they will be scattered. They will be scattered. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. We'll just shovel it over. Just shovel it on over. You guys can't see that mess, but I promise it's a big one. All right, so I'm going to pull out. Yes, Wanda says, I love that you're doing Bargain Bead Box earlier in the month, and I love the idea of doing more. Exactly. Well, that's part of the reason that I'm doing it earlier is because I want to be sure that we can spend quality time with each one. You know, we should. We should. And so many of our community members get Bargain Bead Box. There's no reason why we shouldn't like really give it the love that it deserves. All right. So as you can imagine, I am using some of these little flowers. I can't resist. And I put the little swirlies on the top, even though they don't come down the sides of the flower. It was still a fun little thing to do. So we're going to do that with 2 of these. And then we're going to put together a little bracelet. I'm going to be using the flower as the button. But the first thing we need to do is we need to wire wrap these. Where are my head pins? So for these guys, I'm actually using some extra long head pins. Where did they go? There we are. So you can use regular size, but I am using some of the extra long ones. I believe these are 3-inch. And I just happened to have them. I thought they're a good size for this. All right, so I'm going to thread those on. And I'm just going to bend the wire right where it is exiting the bead. So we're making some little dangle-doos out of this, as you can imagine. And then we will string up a little bracelet. But, all right. So I'm grabbing that wire off to the side with my round nose pliers and kind of back. I want to make my loop pretty long here. Go up and over, rotate my pliers, take the wire over to the other side. And then you can see we are not centered. So what we do is we roll that loop down to the top of the bead and it helps to center that up. Okay. Then you can do this, Carol. I have faith in you. I have faith in you. Then we're going to wrap around the base of our loop and then kind of, whoa, I overdid that one. Hold on. And then I'm just kind of spiraling outwards. So with a bellflower, it usually kind of creates like a cap, but these are a little thicker at the top than a regular bellflower. So it's really, only thing it's doing is just creating a little spiral top on there, which I like. So obviously, or I wouldn't have done it. I think they are fun. I like a little spiral top on the flowers. And if you want to tuck in your little end so that it doesn't get hung on things, you can. So cute. So for my bracelet, I'm going to make 4 of these. So I'm going to do another one and I'll show it to you again. So I'm bending the wire. This is not a regular wrapped loop, okay? So that's why we bend the wire where it exits instead of over the top of our pliers. All right, then I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers. And again, I'm grabbing the wire off to the side here. So you can see I'm off to the side of the bead. Okay, I'm going to take the wire up and over the top barrel of the pliers. And then I'm going to rotate those pliers in my hand. And you can see my loop is off here to the side. And it's particularly obvious when you take the wire over. See how weird that looks? But then you're just going to take this and you are going to just kind of roll it down. And you may have to open your wire a little bit, but you roll that loop down until it gets to the center of the flower, or as close to the center as you can get. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, then you take the wire and you wrap around the base of your circle, your little loop, and then you just keep going and you're wrapping outwards. So it makes a little spiral. Okay. All right, so 4 of those. And then I have pulled some of my favorites from the box. So I have some of the petrified wood beads, but I pulled the ones that were more kind of reddish pink. Okay, so I have 4 of those. I have some of the little agate beads. I've got 8 of the agates. Okay, so make a little pile of those. And then my very favorite bead in the box, I've got 6 of those. The sparkle is so yummy. Ooh, I like that idea. Wanda says if you use silver wire, the blue flowers would look like holiday bells. Yes. That's why I say this box is so versatile. You can really lighten the entire box. If the antique brass makes it too brown and too dark, lighten it up by bringing in silver. And that definitely will help to lighten the mood a bit. All right, 6 of the daisy spacers. I've got a handful of bead caps as well. All right, then I have some of the bicones. So a handful of the bicones. And then I have a selection from the bead little mix here. And I've just pulled out some of the reds and some of the gray and kind of taupe colors from this guy. I thought this was a really cool inclusion because there's so many fun shapes. Look, there's like these weird rondelles. There's like this ovally shape. There are peanut beads in here. There are these little pentagon shaped beads. Faceted rondelles. I liked this. I thought this was a cool thing to add. So, all right. So now we are going to string up a little project here. And like I said, we're keeping it pretty easy. I'm gonna grab some of my bead stringing wire here. And trim that. All right, so to use my little flower here as a button for this, I'm going to start on this end, and I'm going to thread on. Let's see, how did I do this? So I'm going to thread on a little rondelle that I got from the little mix. Wait a minute. Nope. I'm going to thread on my crimp first. It's like, I know there's something I'm forgetting here. We need a crimp bead. All right. Crimp bead going on. All right. Thread on. Now we're going to thread this on the other way. Okay. So thread your crimp bead on. Then thread on your flower from the back. Okay. So you're coming up through the front of your flower. Thread on a daisy spacer. And then thread on your rondelle. Okay. Take your beading wire and turn around and go back the other direction. Skip over the rondelle. Okay. Pass over the rondelle. Go back through the daisy spacer and back through the flower and pull. And you're going to pull that little rondelle right into the center of your flower. Okay. Then you're going to take the tail end of your wire down through your crimp. And you're going to pull that crimp up next to the back of your flower. Pulling your wires, separate those out, make sure they are not crisscrossing inside there, and you're going to crimp. Okay. So give that a squeeze. In the back notch of the crimper tool, turn it sideways, put it in the front notch, give that a squeeze. Give it the tug test. All right. And you've got yourself a little button ready to go. So now we're going to trim off the excess. All right. Now we just have a single strand of wire and we are ready to string. So Dana has a question. Can you tell me what is the purpose of colored string wire? The beads cover the color. Well, there are actually a lot of designs that you can do where you can expose the bead stringing wire. And in that case, if you want the bead stringing wire to be part of the design, then having a color is really nice. I'm not a huge fan of exposed bead stringing wire projects. I'm very particular about where I would use that kind of element in a design. But if you're interested in seeing that, there is a bead company. I will not be sharing their name because I work for the direct competition of that company. But if you're interested, that company that has all that colored bead string wire actually has a ton of project inspiration that you can use where you can see how they have used that wire in an exposed kind of way. But it's not something that I do on a regular basis. But like for this, you see a little tiny bit of the wire. So if the wire was colored, you know, but for me, using just this color, it just kind of disappears in the design. And I don't, you know, I'm not a big person in colored beading wire just because I don't use it that way. But you can, and there's some really cool designs that you can achieve with that. All right, so now we are going to string up our project here. So I'm going to start with 3. Of agate beads. You don't have to apologize for liking that company's wire. That's cool. I just work for the opposing company. So, I mean, and listen, there's enough room in this entire world for everybody and all the wire and all the colors and all of the things. That is totally fine with me. No need to apologize. I'm okay with that. It doesn't make me love you any less. All right. So 3 of the agate beads. All right, then I am going to do one of the cube beads. Okay, then I'm going to do a bicone. Then I'm going to thread on one of my dangle-doos and another bicone. And those bicones should touch each other so that that loop does not touch the wire. Okay, little protection there, keeping this wire off of our bead stringing wire. All right, I'm going to do another of the beautiful cubes. Okay, then I'm going to do another bicone, dangle, bicone. Oh, you're right, Bonnie. I never think about that. That is so true. The wire can be shown, you can see it through beads that are clear. So if you have like really good example of this would be like if you had hot pink bead stringing wire and you thread on really soft, pale rose quartz, it would help brighten the pink of the rose quartz because it would all of a sudden now it's got that bright pink core. That's why you see a lot of gemstones that are thread onto colored cotton. It's to help kind of brighten the color of the gemstone bead that may be a little pale otherwise. But yes, for clear beads, like for instance, if we were stringing up these beautiful blue cubes and we had blue bead stringing wire, you could see it through there, which would be a really cool little addition to your design. So I like it. I like it. I always forget about that. Thank you, Bonnie. All right, another little cube. And then another dangle. And I'm going to save another dangle for the other side. This is just me stringing. Okay, listen, you may not love this design and that's okay. But I just wanted to do a quick little something today to show off some of these Fabu beads. But I plan to do more things with this box. So if you don't love this design, that's okay. You don't have to love any of my designs, quite honestly. All right, I'm going to thread on 3 more of the little agate beads. I think I'm going to reorder the agates. I think they're so fun. They are the same kind of agate that the Z beads are. You can tell it's like that same, just without the Z bead design. I think they're really awesome. All right, now I'm going to switch things up and do a little something different. So I'm going to thread on a daisy spacer, a bead cap, a petrified wood. Okay. Bead cap. Daisy spacer. Bead cap going the other direction. Petrified wood. Bead cap. Daisy spacer. Bead cap. Petrified wood. Wanda is ready for Christmas. Listen, I'm not opposed to it because I love the feeling, but the shopping part, I'm gonna need a minute. I'm gonna need a little more time, please. I'm not ready. Not ready. All right, so we've done 4 of these. I love the texture that the bead caps and the daisy spacers kind of create here. You want to put up your Christmas tree? I support you, Wanda. I support that. But look at the fun texture layering those metals creates. It's kind of fun. It's kind of different, right? All right. And then I'm going to do another little dangle because I can't resist. So I'm going to do an agate bead, just one this time. And then I'm going to do a cube bicone. My little dangle flower, bicone, cube, and my agate. Just to kind of bring that element over to the other side, right? All right, then I'm going to use these beads right here to create a circle, a little loop, so that I can use that loop for my button. So I'm going to lay out my beads for this, which you don't have to use a pattern, but I do kind of like to to put out a pattern. So there's like a taupe colored bead. Do 2 gray, a small little rondelle, 2 more gray. I'm laying it out first before I string it on there. All right, a little taupe. So there's my little pattern there. Then I'm going to throw in a larger, another topaz. One of these kind of shimmery. All right, topaz. Another red. A little topaz. It's not topaz. Taupe. Taupe. Little shimmer. Another little taupe. Red. And let's see, another taupe bead. 2 gray. Little red. 2 gray. And I need one more of those taupe colored beads. You can just do random. You don't have to make a pattern, but there's my little pattern. It might not make sense to anybody but me, but it's still a little pattern. All right. So I'm going to take my crimp. I'm going to thread my crimp on, and then I'm going to thread on all of these beads in this pattern that I just laid out. So that little section here. I love the holidays, and I am always looking forward to them, but it is always so stressful. And I'm not ready for the shopping. I'm just, oh my gosh. I have 3 kids. 2 of them have full-time partners. I have Q, I have my mom. I have Q's brother, Q's mom. And we do it upright. You know what I mean? Like we start celebrating the day after Halloween. It's time. The day after Halloween, it's time to start full speed into Thanksgiving. We start planning the menu. We start getting the hotel rooms. We start getting everything together. And we party through New Year's. And there's always a ton of people at my house. There's so much food, so many people to feed, so much laundry, so many trips to the grocery store. Like, oh, November and December are jam-packed for me. And whew, I love it, but it's intense. It is intense for sure. And this year is going to be a little different, I have a feeling. All right, so there's my little pattern. There's my crimp. Now I'm going to take my bead stringing wire and I'm going to loop back around. So I'm going to skip over all those beads, just kind of move them out of the way. I'm going to take my bead stringing wire through my crimp. I might go through a bead or 2. That gives me a little bit more room when I bring my crimping tool in here so that I'm not fighting for space. So I made a little loop out of all the beads. And I'm going to bring in my crimper, place that into the back notch of the crimper tool, give it a squeeze, sideways, front notch, give that a squeeze. Make sure I did a good job on that. I did. And then trim off the excess. All right. I like the little texture that the red disc beads kind of added to that. And there you go. Ta-da! There's my little asymmetrical weird bracelet that I love. So there you go. Lots of texture here. Lots of texture. A little bit of sparkle. Lots of texture, both visually or not, both physically and visually, because we have like the sparkle from the cubes. We have the visual texture from the wood beads and from the agates, but then we also have that actual physical texture with the metal in there. Isn't it cute? I mean, it's just a little something different. Like I said, this was just the first day creating with this box, so I just wanted to do a little something. And I knew that I would not be okay with myself if I did not first and foremost use the flower bead as a button. So now that I've done that and I've gotten it out of my system, I can now do all the other things that I want to do with this box. Let me show you one of the other things that I do want to do. And that is I want to make some earrings, and I'm probably just going to do one right now just to show you, but I'm just going to take a piece of wire here and another one of the flower beads. Hold on. Let's see. Whoops. Nope. Dropping stuff. I knew this was going to be a mess. All right. So I'm going to take another daisy spacer. And I'm going to take a piece of 22 gauge wire. Well, I don't know what happened to the wire. Have I lost my mind? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to take a piece of wire here. I'm using some 22 gauge wire in antique brass color. I'm going to thread my daisy spacer on, and then I'm going to thread my flower bead on. All right. And then I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to crisscross it over the edge somewhere. Where's a good spot? That's a good spot. There's a little dip in the flower right there. So I'm going to take those two wires and crisscross them over the edge. I've got a long wire and a short wire. I'm going to take the long wire and bend it straight up and down. The short wire, I'm going to take it and wrap it around the long wire. And I'm just doing kind of like a little messy wrap. Doesn't have to be anything beautiful. Little messy wrap. Tuck that in though. So once I get these two little things, the button and the earring, out of my system, then I can do all the other things. Okay, so now I can thread on some sort of bead. What do I want to do on the top? I don't know. I have no idea. That's pretty. It's not enough though. No. I don't really know. I don't really know for sure what I want to do here. A little agate bead. Maybe a bead cap. That's pretty. I like that. All right, and then just a simple loop, or no, not a simple loop, a wrapped loop and an ear wire. This would be super cute. You love auditioning beads. I do too. I really enjoy that part. It does make a big old mess though, for sure. Look how cute. Ear wire is all it needs, is a little ear wire. I love it. I love it. We're going to make one more. We're going to make one more so that we have a set. Because at the end of this, I'm going to grab the ear wires and pop on the top so that I can take a picture of them, because there's not a picture of the bracelet that exists yet. So let's do it again. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Okay. So I've got my wire, threading on my daisy spacer, threading on my flower. All right. Find a spot. Where's the spot? There's a good spot right there. Crisscross the wires. Oops. It's a little short on this side. across the wires. Okay. Long wire goes straight up and down. Other wire, we're just going to wrap around. A little messy something. Doesn't have to be perfect. Do need it to be flat though. At least a little bit. That'll do. Okay, and then our little agate bead. That one is a little lighter than this one. I'm going to try to find one that's a little closer to the same color. I think that one will do. That's better. All right. Bead cap and a daisy spacer. So daisy spacer first, then the bead cap, and then our little cube bead and a wrapped loop. And then I'll add ear wires. These are so fun. They're so fun. I have to have more of the flowers. I really, really, really love those. And if you are subscribed to the Bargain Bead Box YouTube channel, Lauren does a weekly, like a little teaser for the week to show you what beads are coming up on the website, because they do drop new things almost every day. They add something new to the website. Definitely check that out so that you can keep an eye on things, so that you don't miss out on when they drop the box extras. So like if you wanted to reorder these, you'll know when those are coming. You can also see some other things that they add to the website. So it's a cool place to kind of get a feel for her personality, which she's awesome, and her her take on all the different beads that they get. How cute are those? Yes, yes. All right, I gotta grab some ear wires, but it's gonna be a minute, so we'll do that after I say goodbye to you guys. But I love those. I think those worked out well. So the bottom line here, guys, is that Bargain Bead Box and Bead Box bargains are awesome. They're fantastic. And if you want some more of these flower beads, you got to fight me for them. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to turn you guys around. All right. So as mentioned, you guys, we will be revisiting. Let's spend some more time with the Bargain Bead Box this month, or Bead Box bargains, or whatever it is. I have one of their little, it doesn't go with this one. It was just a little bundle that they released. I have that bundle coming to me. I think it'll be here tomorrow. So it'll be ready for next week. At the end of the week, this week, the companion bundle that does go with this will be dropped. I'm going to be grabbing it too. I probably won't have it in time for next Tuesday, but I will be getting it. So we will at some point be looking at it as well. Definitely check their website though regularly, because they drop stuff all the time. And if you watched this past sneak peek for the week, there's a lot of Halloween charms, lots of cats, lots of really, really cute little pumpkins and things like that that are coming to the website that will be dropped this week. So keep an eye on that website. Even if you don't watch their YouTube channel, that's fine. But check the website regularly, because when things drop, sometimes they sell out really quickly and you miss them. I hate it when that happens. It's happened to me often. It drives me absolutely crazy. I remember one time we all fell in love with these yellow triangle shaped beads. So much so that I sent Lauren a message and I was like, are you going to drop some more of these? And she was like, yes, I actually just found a bunch of them. They're going onto the website really soon. Give me 48 hours. And they dropped on the website and I still missed it. I still miss, everybody in my life had these gorgeous yellow triangle beads and I still missed out on them. I was not fast enough. And that happens all the time. So you got to keep an eye on that website on a regular basis to get the good stuff, because if you love it, chances are somebody else does too. I want the cubes too. I'm going to be reordering the larger blue flowers. I'm going to be reordering the cubes. I hope that she gets some of the cubes in some other colors. I'm also going to reorder the agate, the little brown agate beads. I loved this box, and I'm always inspired and always, you know, ready to create. Some of them have been a little bit more challenging to me than others. Last month's box was a little challenging for me. I loved all of the pieces that everybody else made, but when it came to me trying to come up with something, I just wasn't satisfied with any of the pieces that I made. And it wasn't because I didn't love it. It was just, I just wasn't doing it justice, you know? This month, I don't feel that way. I love this bracelet. I love the texture. The earrings are so fun. So I'm looking forward to the companion bundle and all of the other things. Post your pictures, guys. Post them in our community. Post them in their community. Be sure that you are subscribed to their YouTube channel and their Facebook group so that you can get inspired by what other people are doing there. All right, I'm out of here. I will be back with you guys on Friday at 1 p.m. for our Feel Good Friday show. So set your reminders for that. I'm going to go take a picture of this to give to my team so that it can get posted on all our social medias. And Hardwired will be meeting at 4 p.m. this afternoon. You guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys in a couple of days. Okay. I love you. Mwah. Bye.